Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pood. Okay.
Thank you.
Rule
Thank you.
unnecessary.
Finally, thank you for finally taking my recommendation and doing that for
What are you talking
something.
about? What are you talking
I've only been asking you to do it for weeks now.
Alrighty. Well, hey, welcome back to the Call of Duty Rec League podcast, currently known as the Pood. We've got a great intro. We've got great graphics made by Jimothy himself. Shout out Jims for that. We got the boys in the house right now. We got Matty Ice on production. Got to shout him out first because he's working hard back there. We got Dapper.
Always.
We got, once again, Jims. Got to
Hi.
mention him a couple times, so otherwise he's going to fire us all. And then we got Jake,
Exactly.
the man, the myth, the legend, the Green Bay Goats captain himself, and the championship victor of the Diamond Division.
Facts.
That long flowing hair, he just flipped back. Saw it on stream.
I mean, I don't even do it on purpose. Like sometimes I just have to do it. Like, I mean, what am I supposed to do with all these locks? I mean, I'm gonna keep it a stack, boys. It's going soon. It's about to be gone.
What?
Maybe this week.
No,
I mean, not like that.
No, wait. So you said last time you said that you cut off like 5 inches. It's like
No,
nothing.
okay, yeah.
Or is it seriously like it's summer and you're getting rid of it?
I mean, I have a picture reference that I'm going to use when I cut it. I'll send it to you guys, but I won't let the podcast see. Sorry, everybody. But it's going. It's going. Let me tell you.
I respect it.
Jake is turning a new leaf, ladies and gentlemen. I've never known a short hair Jake. He's been around the CRL since day one, literally.
I mean, not like short, but like pretty short for me at least.
We're gonna be wildin'. The next podcast will be wildin'.
Yes.
But well, I guess we might as well talk about the spring season here, right? Get it done and over with. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my monitor right now. I cannot get it to do what I want it to do. But the CRL spring season did just come to an end. Shout out to the spring season. It was a fun time. A lot of teams. Jims, would you like to say anything about how many teams we had?
It was not fun in the slightest. So usually I get really stressed when Chumps comes around. This was the first time I breathed a sigh of relief because half the people that were eliminated that could complain. So it was a lot more fun once we got the Chumps and all those high quality matches started getting rolling. And I mean, yeah, spring was stressful. It was a lot, but Mike and I also learned a ton. Mods learned a ton, so hopefully it'll be a little more smooth because summer signups aren't looking any lighter.
Yeah,
Really? I haven't really taken that much of a look.
I expected it to go down. I really
did. Would you like to say how many pre-made teams we had in the first few hours?
Of this season of summer?
No, this like as soon as the signups went live.
We are at over 100 within an hour.
Oh no, my lord!
I think we're at 130 by the end of the day. I haven't taken account what it is right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep signing up.
I mean, CRL stonks are going up and up. I mean, definitely not a bad thing, but hopefully it goes a little bit smoother than last season. At least we got a rep under our belt of a high volume season. So maybe this time around we can traverse those lands a little bit more safely. I definitely trust us, but signups looking good. Love to see more people in the CRL. Love to see people, being active. And I mean, we had a great set of championship matches. There sure were a lot of them, but a lot of them were pretty gas. I won't lie, boys.
Hey, you want to talk about the most gas one of them all? The Diamond pre-made championship. The Green Bay Goats taking that one. Shout out. But I mean, all the way down, we had a great championship matchup as a whole. I'm just gonna run through them really, really, really fast, and then we're gonna probably get into bringing on some guests. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, wink. But anyone out there who knows anything about that? But that Diamond division being taken by the Green Bay Goats was a great matchup. If you got to see that one, shout out Jake, one of the players on that team, of course. I mean, whole squad dominating. And then obviously the Platinum pre-made division being taken by the Denver Surrender. They've been around a little bit and they got their championship and they're ready to move on up to Diamond given the chance. But then we go to Gold. You have 4 gold divisions, which is insane. 4 gold, 4 silver is just nuts. But Gold North being won by the Maui Chums, Gold East being won by the Sydney Dingoes. Yes, I said East. That's how crazy it's gotten. But Gold South, the Atlanta Dazed, and the Gold West division being won by the New York Subpar. I mean, shout out to all these absolute goats at this point in time, right? Cementing themselves with the CRL legacy right here. But moving on to silver, we got the Silver North champions, going to be the Atlanta Dazed. Silver East champions going to be the Florida Puppeteers. Shout out the Puppeteers over the Hooded Tears. You know what I'm saying, first season of the new name, right?
Yeah, I want to say
Yeah.
that's the first time Florida Puppeteers have won. It's the first
So-
season. I think they're the only Florida Puppeteers team that won across all divisions. So yeah,
Oh, shout out Blighted
pretty
and
cool.
Co.
Pretty cool.
Pretty awesome. But Silver South, that's going to be Denver Surrender. 2 Denver Surrenders. Like to see that. 2 Atlanta Days, 2 Denver Surrenders. Love to see it. And then moving right after that, the Silver West is going to be the Sydney Dingoes. And then now we're going to get into our Bronze North pre-made. LAG taking that one. That's Voodoo Man and Co. Shout out. I hear we got one of their players coming up on the Pood here in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
So you mentioned that one. You didn't mention
yeah,
Gold North because Orbit will be coming on too later.
And so
Talk
will
about his
Carlie.
championship run.
Same with Carlie and Silver North. Yeah.
Can't hype them all up.
Biased.
But and then
Gonna
Gold
be
South
biased.
was hey, James, I can be biased.
Biased for absolutely no
I've
reason.
been clearly biased all season at the Green Bay Goats. Let me have this one.
True.
Okay, just let me have this. But moving on, Bronze South, that was won by OGT, and then Iron Pre-Made being won by the LA Dweebs. Shout out Juan Cena. That is one of my favorite people to cast. Like every single season of the Rec League. Whenever Juan Cena comes up, I got a smile on my face. Legit. It is a good time.
Great
And then
name.
moving on over to mixed, we got some absolute legends over there as well. We got the gold mixed division being won by the Boston Boigas, and then the silver North mix being won by LAG, silver South mixed by OGT, and then bronze mixed by Manitoba Mallards. Shout out Manitoba.
For
Yeah,
LAG,
shout out all those people.
I like shout out
Congrats
Pro
to
Rex,
all
man.
the champions this
I was
season.
actually going to go through every single
Heat.
name, but then I started reading the Green Bay Goats alone, and I was like, that's a lot of names. So,
I know, but I mean, there's one person got shout out, and that's LAG Silver North Mix. You know, the 3 times Pro Rex. Hope you're feeling better, man.
Yeah. Ovi's feeling a lot
Absolutely.
better. When we heard about that, that was definitely a tough one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awake, doing better now. Long road to recovery, but he's alive. So that's
Hey, that's what matters.
That's the thing that matters the
That's
most.
what matters.
Rest well,
Hopefully-
Pro-Rex. Hopefully things are looking up for you.
Hopefully we get to see him again. Playing in the league, dominating people like he does. I mean, what, he's won 3-4 times now?
He's already asked if he can go back to silver when he comes back instead of going to gold. So
You know what? You know
You're
what? Gotta do what you gotta
at
do.
least.
He's hitting the phones early. I respect it. Oh, man. But while we get ready to bring our first guest on here, we're gonna talk to Jake over in the Diamond Pre-Made division here. Jake, how are we feeling after the championship victory with your absolute legends of teammates on the Green Bay Goats? Once again, I am not biased to the Green Bay Goats, maybe a little bit.
Well, CNK might have been the #1 Green Bay Goat supporter. So shout out CNK. He was casting the match, feeling good. But I had a great time playing that match. You know, you got to show up when it matters most, and championships is definitely when you want to, peak. And I feel like we definitely peaked as a team in this game. This map 1 honestly wasn't so good for us. Like it was really close, and I don't think that was maybe how it should have gone. We were really comfortable in Embassy, but I think later half of the series we were flowing at all form, and we were all doing our thing. So shout out to all the boys. They were working hard together. We were working hard to win this season. Not a lot of scrims going in, but we were definitely wanting to win very badly, and I'm glad we could have come out on top, take down the Sin City boys who sent us down to that lower round. And I mean, some of those maps were real close, and if they go the opposite direction, we might lose that series. So I'm glad it happened the way it did.
Hey, I'm glad it happened the way it did too. It made it for a very fun night, not gonna lie. But I mean, it was a crazy season overall. Because I would say, like, as a fan of the team, my expectations were like sky high.
Mhm.
I saw the squad that you built, the super team that you built, and then I remember I talked to you about it like one time, and you're like, "Yeah, we don't practice at all," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Had me worried there for a bit, but I mean, how was like the season breakdown and everything? I know we already talked about this a lot in the post match of the stream itself, but just want to go over it a little bit more as well.
Yeah, one shout out to all my teammates. They're doing great things. Once me and Logan tried to pick up Morph in the off season, we were very confident once we got him locked down and being like, okay, we're gonna team for sure. We saw what Morph could do. I mean, we obviously saw what Morph could do at that LAN that they played in Fort Collins when it was, I think it was Zaya, Dak, and Ozai or Alex. But
Yep.
we were picking him up before that. We were just playing eights with him. We were like, oh my god, this guy is gross, seeing what he was doing plat. And so we kind of tried to pick him up real quick. It worked out in our favor. We picked up Caleb as kind of a last minute. We weren't supposed to team with Kilrook, but we ended up doing so, and it was a great decision. He fit the sub duo very well, and we come out on top. And final shout out to Logan. Logan really played his heart out this series. He didn't like drop any crazy numbers. He dropped like a 0.9 in the series, but his impact was palpable on the map, and that's all you can really ask for out of your fast SMG player. So shout out Logan for that one. Glad I could get one with the brother Logan. The pre-show duo take one home.
Right, the duo. For real though. That's an OG Rec League duo basically at this point in time.
Yeah, not just like a a lot of people call them Mickey Mouse mixed rings, but no, like the top division. You're able to get it done with Logan. That was really cool to see. You two have been playing together for freaking ever. So I love seeing that win.
And Logan has had his fair share of doubters from time to time. And yeah, we're getting low-key hard carried by Morph, but I don't think like having Morph on the team is just going to give you an automatic W. Even somebody like Caleb as well. It's like we needed to play our role on that team. I think I did great. I think Logan did great. And so like I know a lot of people like to maybe doubt Logan at times because like, oh, he's on a console and sometimes he puts up some bad statistics, but he's definitely an impactful SMG player, and any team is going to be lucky to have him because we're not going to be returning next year, but you might see Logan Gear playing in Diamond or Platinum next time around. So we're going to see if he can maybe go back to back. He would be the only Green Bay GOAT unless Kilrook makes a team, but it's going to be interesting next season for sure.
Yeah, that winners semifinal match, I think a lot of people were not really on his case, but people noticed like, hey, he definitely didn't have the greatest performance. I saw that too. And even in the finals, like statistically, not that fantastic, but as a spectator of the game, he was making so many critical plays, so many, and it was really fun watching him because I knew that Sin City were probably screaming every time he got a kill. He was being so annoying on the map.
Yeah, I mean, you can see him like literally in the clip that Matty Ice is playing right now. He doesn't get that kill in the guy bathroom, but like he's clearing out everything in that bottom halls. We don't end up getting this time, but it's just like little things like that. Like a lot of SMGs will just like sprint and jump at the hill and try to like pop an insane two-piece. But like you could hear it in the comms. Obviously, you didn't hear our comms because none of us streamed. There's no like listen-ins, obviously. But like when I would get killed top paper, I'd be like, "There's one top paper," and Logan would be like, "I'm going top paper. I'm killing him," and I'm like, "Love that." So big plays out of the kid.
For sure. And Morph and Kilrick doing their absolute thing as always. They fried. Wasn't a problem for them to drop numbers.
Dad buff. Dad buff is real. Unbelievably real.
Kilrick is a father for sure.
And then Kilrook's got the dad buff and Morph has the snake buff.
Great form out of Morph.
Literally produces snake oil just like as a hobby at this point.
Wait, CNK. We were watching the VOD after the match, and we hear you call Morph. You go, the Snake King picks up a two-piece, and Morph goes, wait, my nickname is the Snake King? What? And I'm like, I mean, it has to be that way.
I had to do it to him because whenever he's snaking, it's like it has to be the most annoying person to fight against in the Rec League when he's doing that. Like it's so insane. He just literally perfected it, but the whole team getting it done there. Shout out to Sin City Slayers, by the way. That whole team, hey, they deserve to be in that championship. And I'm excited to see if they make it back next season or further seasons, because I'm sure they'll be playing again. Sin City Slayers, they get around, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They will be around. I expect them to be back.
They definitely showed what they're capable of. Like I know Sin City Slayers have had their fair share of doubters in the past because they've kind of struggled in those respawn modes, but they showed this season that they can definitely catch you off guard, take those respawns just based on they're very well team oriented, and some of those guys definitely had some slow series. Like I know Air and Fury didn't maybe perform up to their standards in our series. I think we did a good job of like shutting them down, but normally you'd see Fury just like popping off at all times, just popping 2 pieces when he needs to. He's kind of a streaky player where, maybe he'll start slow at times, but then you'll look at the scoreboard and he'll be like 25 and 20, and you're like, wow, this guy must have been like slamming for like a minute straight. So definitely a dangerous player to play against, and I think they're gonna do fantastic in the future. Diamond, they may be one of the favorites going into this season if it ends up happening.
Ooh. That means if anyone out there is betting channel points nonstop and losing over and over and over and over and over again, it might be a team to look at next season. You know what I'm saying?
They will be.
Hey, Jims, I know you got that problem of just losing points. So
I know.
you got to get a little better at this whole betting thing.
I was up to 180K, I think, without ever betting, and I'm currently at 55K. I don't remember when I did bet, but I'm all the way down there. Down bad.
Some of it probably happened during the CDL watch parties that we did. That was bad for everybody's points, I think.
Should we maybe start talking about this next match we have on the board? CNK, whose match are we going over now?
We are going to be bringing in the man, the myth, the legend, Orbit. This guy, I tell you what, in the gold division, lit it up this season. His squad bringing in absolute domination. We're talking about the 4-time champion, Black Ops Cold War. We're talking Vanguard. We're talking MW2 Spring. Just happened, obviously. This guy has been around a long time, and he knows nothing but winning. We're going to bring him right on in. We're going to talk to him about how his squad got it done this season. Orbit, how we doing?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, congratulations, first of all, on the championship and not being the 1-time, not the 2-time, not the 3-time, but the 4-time champion in the CRL. That's a little bit of hype right there.
I would also like to point out, too, about Orbit. I think he's the only person who has won a championship in 3 separate divisions.
Hey,
there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
In bronze, silver, and gold? I mean, that's impressive.
Thank you.
There you go. Hey, Orbit, how was it playing with the Maui Chums this season in the Gold North Division? How'd it go for you guys?
It's pretty like our other seasons. We usually take a couple season break. And then 3 of the 4 of us, actually none of us really play. We just hop on when the matches start. That's pretty much it.
Hey, get on and fry, right? That's all it takes when you got a God squad like that, right? I mean, hey, you and your team, you get it done, right? You guys are very talented. Obviously, coming out winning a championship in the Gold North pre-made division is not easy. Like, that is actually insanely difficult. A couple gold division players in here, Dabber and Matty Ice, that did not do it. So, hey, clearly it takes a lot of skill. So,
hey, I like to say, like, we lost Orbit.
Yeah, round 1 of playoffs.
I mean, I can say it was not close. Like they speed ran our team pretty convincingly.
A good day. That's all it was.
Yeah, it was a good day for you guys. It was not a fun matchup at all. I mean, I don't know what it is, a raccoon dog, but I could not kill that man. And I know you won multiple championships with that guy. I mean, like, what is it with you two teaming together that just brings so much success?
He's my brother, so we have like really good chemistry, I guess.
I didn't know he was your brother.
Many years. Yeah, so whenever I started off in Cold War, my original 4 was the 4 brothers. And then Vanguard hit, as ended up being 3 of us. Pandwolf ended up staying back. And then fortunate situation, my other brother passed, and then we just ended up moving on as just us 2, and then Dilly was brought in, and he's been with us for like the past 6 seasons as well. Yeah.
Well, I cannot wait to
chemistry's all there.
I cannot wait to watch you guys in Plat next season. Yeah, that's gonna be something.
We will not be playing in Plat. We will not be playing this season.
Come on.
We usually take breaks. It's kind of rough. We get a lot of talk about us all the time whenever we're in. It kind of makes things hard to play. Like the whole hosting thing. We don't have a host in Hawaii, so we came to California. And I mean, yeah, we just get a decent amount of scrutiny for just playing, so could probably take a break till the next game.
Well, I'm curious because you guys are from Hawaii, and obviously that, like you said, that people talk about you for that reason. The host advantage when you guys are hosting or whatever. But
Right.
Obviously you're not going to be hosting every game. So
Yeah, we
what
don't.
is kind of the strategy when you guys are off host? Because me personally, being a West Coaster, when I'm on East Coast host, I'm like, bro, this is gonna be a tough one for sure. You
Yeah.
from Hawaii, it's got to be even more difficult. So what's kind of the game plan going off host? Because obviously you want to win your hosts, but how do you kind of go into a game when you're like, okay, this is gonna be a tough one. We're not gonna be hosts. What's the plan here?
Yeah, so the way we really go into it is we obviously just want to win our host, but it's more of just not thinking about it. Whenever we're playing off host, if it's not anywhere near West, we're starting off on 110. Like the last match we played, 2 and 4, we played on 130. But like I said, we were getting scrutiny for hosting our maps 1 and 3, but 2 of them had better ping than us, and we don't like. The one thing I just want to like explain is that the U.S. is neutral or central isn't our neutral, if that makes sense.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, California would be your neutral.
yeah,
And there's I don't know. I don't like people complaining as much about like when you're hosting matches because there's no Hawaii servers. You still
yeah, it's
ping to
California.
a Los Angeles server. So does it like it's just yeah, people think that you're hosting from Hawaii when that's not the case at all. You ping to an LA dedicated server. So
I will say we did
West
we
Coast
did ping
server.
to Hawaii in Cold War though. We were
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
yeah,
Cold War
that was
for
pretty bad.
sure. Yeah.
What do you
But
ping to Cali?
70.
So like if somebody's playing, okay, so maybe that could benefit you by like 20 ping maximum if the whole team is on the East Coast. But if you're pinging to LA and they're all East, it's almost a fair fight. It's like, and they get the host of their own. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a non-starter in my opinion. If people are a little bit upset at that from times, but I understand how it goes. A lot of people have their opinions on the situation, but huge shout out to you guys because I mean that's definitely not an easy situation. Like I complain about East, like I said, for being from Cali, so being from Hawaii must be a completely different battle. So I definitely tip that. Huge W from you guys, and it looks like you guys are a very solid squad.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to
I'm
say,
look
like, if you guys are performing like that on 70 ping, I'd hate to see you guys on like 20 ping. I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah, can we get these guys in Texas on fiber, please?
Oh God, no, no, spare me.
Just run the league.
Yeah, like I said, our approach is just not think about it. Yeah,
if you
we
live in
enjoy
Hawaii, you can't. You got to just live with it.
it. Just do it.
You got to just deal with it. No, I totally get that.
Talking about the
Cold War bronze champion, Vanguard silver champion, and now MW2 gold champion. I don't know what the next title is going to be, but do you expect to be a platinum champion? Be the first one to run the gauntlet.
I do. Very confident.
Ooh.
Love that. I love that.
There we go.
You do have some of your teammates that registered for platinum this season. I don't know if
Oh yeah,
we're going to be playing as much, but you are a sub for them. I don't know if you'd be considered a champion if they made the run, but still looking forward to
Raccoon Dog and I are staying as reserves. So we're kind of just taking a step back, probably into the next
Mhm.
title.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hopefully,
and
the next title is
just for
coming.
anybody that doesn't know about your team, do you guys have like I'm not as maybe knowing about how your team kind of performs as opposed to like maybe another team in my division. So do you guys
Right.
have like maybe a couple all-star players and a couple role players, or do you have one of those teams where you all pop off from time to time? And if you guys have that one player that's kind of the hard carry per se, who do you think that is for you guys?
Well, for this season, wait, can we specifically watch the last round of this control, and then I'll explain it? Or it's like a minute long, but definitely this season, we just let our subs go. Me and Dilly usually play our roles. That's it. We just watch lanes and let them do whatever they want. That's pretty much how it's been the whole season. Yeah, Raccoon Dog and Kendall just mesh pretty well, so we just let them do whatever they want. We hold down the back lines and just watch them tear it up, I guess.
I mean, on a map like this, like LCO, when your SMGs have chem, it's like it's just almost impossible to get anything done. If you're the opposition, it's like you just have people just in pool all over the place. Like, oh, okay, I actually saw this round. Yeah, this round is actually insane.
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I was spectating this round. This was nuts.
I got to watch
The
this
comms
one
were
as well.
basically, it was just so Clay's my name. They just say like, oh, just block tower, and then Kendall and Raccoon Dog they just did whatever they want, and then me and Dylan were just kind of watching over.
I mean, it looks like a mix. You just see them running around like raccoons on a 7. Kendall's on the other side of the map just reaping. Like, this is a nightmare situation for the Chicago Hunted, I won't lie.
There wasn't much comms. It was mostly they were just yelling dead or just laughing, like having a good time, not laughing at people.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I know I played against the Raccoon Dog several times in the league, and especially like 2 or 3 times in this game alone. I can say LCO control. I don't know what comes over Raccoon Dog on this map game mode combination, but whenever he loads in to LCO control, it's just like he's a different beast. I don't know what it is, but I guarantee you he'll always come out of the map of over 30 kills and going double positive. It's insane. I don't know what it is.
I just DM me. I could teach you how to beat him. This guy's pretty free. Pretty easy. Pretty free. I played him in bronze. I had a matchup against my other 2 brothers. I came out 3-0, so 3-0 when it mattered. These guys are bad. I'm the better brother.
Man.
Come on.
So
I think the cross brother toxicity is allowed. I won't lie.
100%. That's okay.
I'll allow it.
That has to be dealt with in the household. That's a you guys problem.
Yeah, whenever we played in Cold War and Vanguard, we set up. I mean, we're on PCs now, but the Vanguard season and the Cold War season, we just set up our consoles all in the living room and just played it out like that.
That's sweet.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
awesome. That would have been such good vibes, bro. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Orbit. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just see if anybody has any other questions.
Yeah, I was gonna pass it off here. Anything you got to say, Dapper? What do you got?
Oh, nothing. I got nothing to say. I already asked everything I wanted to ask.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, Orbit, thank you very much for coming on. The 4-time champion is always welcome, of course. Love to see you here, and congratulations once again to you and the squad. And hey, good luck in the next season you play. It may not be next season, might be, might fill in for a team or two. You never know. Maybe get that 5th championship on the board as a backup. You never know. You never know.
I don't want to be a backup. I want to earn it.
Hey, so what you're saying is you might actually just shouldn't play.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we will see you around when you play in your next season, hopefully in the championship match once again. But have an absolute fabulous night and congratulations.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it, Miguel.
All right. Well, great interview from Orbit. My bad. I almost said Raccoon Dog. We were talking about him for a minute, but great interview from Orbit. You got a great set of guys over there. I mean, I feel like that LCO control kind of spoke for itself. I watched that before the podcast started, and I was like, bro, like they absolutely just ran around the entire time. And I mean, it makes sense given that, obviously they have, built-in chem and probably chem from just playing with each other for a while. It's like on LCO control like that, if you just kind of get set up and you let your SMGs do whatever they want, they are just so free to just, kind of just run circles and wrap back to like a neutral position, if you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I know it was a very fun match to cast, that's for sure, especially the control. It was a little bit back and forth, and then, yeah, it was like kind of round around there, but the last round was just like, oh, okay, well, that's done. It was pretty insane. Oh man. But hey, Dapper, do you want to introduce our next guest on the podcast? We're going to get someone over from the Silver North Division, Atlanta Days, that is.
I sure can. So coming up in Silver North, we have Carlie coming in representing Seal, Killswitch, Colton, and Hyphy Boy. And I mean, these are some of my past teammates. I can honestly say I'm really happy they won. I had faith in them 100%. Now we're gonna bring in Carlie. Here we go. What's going on, Carlie?
What's up? What's going on?
What's up? Congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about like the season overall? Winning and everything.
Well, first I wanna ask James why he thought we were gonna get 3-0'd.
Oh,
3-0.
let's
3-0. Wait.
go.
No. Let me say it again. 3-0, not close. So I think that gave us an extra fire. Someone told us that you said we're gonna get 3-0'd. So me and Colton, we're nerds. We're like, wait, we're gonna get on early. We're gonna warm up. We wanna win this. But the whole season was a really good time. I love playing with Colton and Treva and Seal. They're some of my close friends. Colton is nasty. Treva carried me in every single search and destroy. I had a blast.
Well, I mean, you guys were playing absolutely fantastic. You were actually cooking yourself on this map 1. I'm not as similar to the question I asked Orbit. I'm not sure if you saw, but I'm not 100% certain. How does this team kind of operate? Is there, who's kind of the X factor of this team, you would say? Because it seemed like you guys were all having your moments in this series. Who's kind of the person that, if they're frying, you're going to take that map home?
Definitely Colton. I would say Colton for sure. He's a really good at like playing for the win. He knows what to do on the map, and it just when he's frying, it opens up the map for me as well. And Trevor can stay in his power positions. Yeah, I would say he's a big difference maker for us.
Well, anybody got some questions for Carlie? Because I mean, they had an absolutely fantastic season. I mean, from what I saw, obviously, Jims, you now got to watch what you're saying on the CRL podcast because you might get called out.
Hey, based on the information that I got about this OGT team, I stand by my statement, and I'm happy that they were able to prove me wrong.
Fair. We saw their map record, and we were like, oh wow, maybe they're sandbagging. But I think part of our problem was throughout the season is a lot of times we would just get on and play our match and not warm up, or we would just be tired and not really go hard. So we didn't have the greatest map win percentage.
How did the series go down specifically? Because, obviously you guys won 3-1. Were you a little nervous when they took that game 3? Because this map 1 was like really close. Obviously you go up 2-0, you're feeling comfortable, but once that third map goes their way, like, are you starting to get worried? Like, are you starting to get nervous? Because I know that happens from time to time to people when they're playing.
No, I think we just trolled. To be honest, we should have won that, and at the end, just a few bad plays costed us, and we knew we were gonna win the fortress because Seal is a god on that map, and Colton was frying, so we were like, Colton, take out the third AR, and yeah, GG.
I just see Colton in chat. He drove 22 hours from Florida and then played the same night. There's
Dude,
no way.
this guy got so
There's no
sunburned
way.
too, like absolutely fried sunburn.
I don't know how you can do that. Like me personally, before I play, I need some type of caffeine before I play COD, or else I'm just gonna get absolutely cooked.
Sure, me too.
I mean,
yeah,
you guys
we were
don't know how to do it.
caffeined out for this series, like not gonna lie.
Going into the season, were you confident that you guys could take this home, or was it kind of just like, okay, we're going to sign up, try to do our thing? Or was it one of those seasons where you guys were like, okay, this season we're going to go hard and try to take us home? Obviously, you say you guys don't get warm up before you get on, so maybe that's not the case. Like, were you kind of surprised you ended up at this Chump situation, or were you very confident going into the season?
Well, we have like a curse where we always get second. So we were like, let's just play this for fun and see what happens. I don't know, like I said, we didn't take it very serious like the first half of the season. Like we didn't scrim or anything. So it kind of surprised me that we won. We made it all the way here and won. We played like maybe one scrim, and that was before the season started. So I'm impressed with us.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
With that curse you're talking
that's
about.
how it should be.
Okay, besides Cold War.
Yeah, I was gonna say you won season 4 of Cold War, then season 5 is when we teamed together, and that's when that's what kind of started my playoff drought because from season 5 of Cold War, I played every season since then. Pre-made and mixed. I think I won. I lost every single playoff game from season 5 of Cold War all the way up until like the last season of Vanguard is when I actually started winning playoff games. you know, maybe I was the bad luck in Cold War there, you know? Because without me, you know, you guys won Chumps, winning playoff games.
No. Not true, not true. We almost full sailed and
Oh,
reverse
yeah.
swept in Cold War, but we choked on Express.
Yeah.
Pain.
Iceberg. Yep. I
Yeah,
lost
shout
to
out
Matty Ice
Iceberg.
himself. That was a very unfortunate map. I don't know what it was with Express S&D. I was so bad at it. You know, even though
Me
it was
too.
my first COD actually competing, you know, I'll use it as my excuse. I did not know how to play S&D. I was learning how to play hardpoint on the fly. With Iceberg and Hyped. I mean, you know, they're just kind of teaching me the ropes throughout Cold War, and it helped. But you know,
No,
all I
no.
was doing was
Not
going
your
for
fault.
kills. I was going for kills,
And that's okay.
and I was a slug. I was such a slow player.
Still a slug.
I'm not
Still
a slug anymore.
Still a
Turtle
slug.
up in the back of the map.
Well, anybody else got anything to add?
I mean,
I got
I think we had a nice chat. Glad you got to take this one home, Carlie. You guys did an absolutely fantastic job. I mean, from what Jim said on the podcast, I did not necessarily expect you guys to take it home, but obviously you guys showed Jim's up. So shout out to you. I always like when Jim's gets egg in his face per se. So absolutely fantastic W. You guys win 3-1. You take home silver champions. And hope to see you guys do the same and maybe gold next season. I don't know if you guys signed up,
For
but
sure.
would love
We
to
signed
see
up for
another
gold.
W for you guys. Let's go.
Can
Signed
confirm
up.
they're in gold.
Yep. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate you coming on.
Sure. Have a good one, guys.
All right,
You too.
We get an exclamation mark limbs in the chat. But
I mean,
For sure. And
I honestly
I
think that-
got the intel that I got about that OGT team were from some fairly notable players in that division during one of their regular season matchups. And they were mad that they did not get immediately removed from the division once that this particular team lost. So to see them in Chumps, I thought it was just going to be a pretty quick 3-0, and that was not the case. It was pretty hot 3-1 for the side of Atlanta, so good for them. Happy I got proven
Jim,
wrong.
Yeah, Jims, maybe they should be thanking you. Maybe you gave
that was the
them
gas they
that
needed.
motivation
no,
needed. Free
yeah,
motivation out of you, Jims.
Great. Now Jim's is eight. Great.
maybe you're not wrong. Maybe you're not wrong in that regard. They actually got on and warmed up because of me. That's crazy.
So
They
Jim's is
didn't
literally
fight
eight, bro.
scrim. I didn't give them enough motivation to scrim, but they actually got on and warmed up.
I mean, making it to Chumps with no warm up is typical. I will say that. That is for sure. I mean, maybe they should have been moved up. I mean, if you're winning games with no warm up, like holy moly! If I get on a match without shooting bots, I might drop a 0.6.
Well, they're always on, like, whenever I see them sign up, I always feel like they're on the cusp of needing to get moved up because they do always make those like top 4, potentially making it to finals in silver like every single season. So I'm happy to see them actually win this time, so I can just get them the hell up into gold this time instead of questioning it. Now they're in gold.
Well, everybody, we got one more guest lined up on the CRL Pood. We got somebody from the bronze division, if I am not mistaken. Why don't we bring him up and talk about him real quick so we can talk about his match. His match was sadly not on stream, so maybe he can tell us a little bit about it. Next up, we got Defiant. What team is he from again, if someone can remind me?
LAG.
LA or Lag, Bronze North.
Bronze North, LAG. Lag, yes. I'm pulled up in here. Defiant, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing
Good.
fantastic. Hey, welcome to the CRL Pood, by the way.
Before we
Congratulations
start
on
off-
winning the championship.
Thank you. I think Shio said that they're saving the best for last, so I appreciate that.
There we go, yeah.
You know, before we start off, I want to ask you a quick question. Just not related to your series or anything at all. Why are you called the Coal Destroyer?
Oh no. I figured this question would come up, but people know that I love talking about this. But so most of my COD career is spent about a decade ago from the Black Ops 2 through AW kind of era.
Love that.
I'm an old man.
Same.
So basically signed up for a random 2K series in Ghosts leading up to UMG Niagara. Just with a few locals from Toronto here. Some of them weren't playing COD at the time. One was a CS player. And we decided to match up against Complexity, like prime Complexity, Crim 6, Aches, Karma, you name them. We just gave them the hot 2-1 series win against them, and that's kind of why they call me the Coal Destroyer. The Coal Slayer is actually the name, but they kind of got beat out of me by a caster at UMG Niagara when I made that my name on LAN. But hey,
well, that's extremely typical because not a lot of people can say that they beat Prime Complexity. I mean, that's a short period of time there, and you snuck your way into the likes of greats. I mean, that's one of the. There's like a couple teams that have ever beaten Complexity in their entire, run. So that's extremely great out of you.
Yeah, honestly, it's almost a decade later, and I'm still pretty shocked about it. So it's.
Wait, sorry, can you remind me what event this was? I'm trying to look it up.
It was an MLG 2K series back in the day. Yeah. There was a Decerto article about it. Our team name was hashtag 14and40 swag, which was dedicated to a friend of ours who went 14and40 on LAN one series. So.
Because I remember Complexity losing at LAN to XGN at UGC Niagara. That's the one memory I have of them losing to just straight up AMs.
Yeah, so we beat them like 2 weeks before that. So I like to say that we
got in their head.
Yeah, XGN couldn't have done it without us. So
yeah. I remember Stun dropped like he 1v3 and dropped like 15 kills in the S&D and got like 50K followers in a day. It was crazy.
Honestly, like
that was a thing too.
No one remembers anyone on that XGN team, but anyone who watched that series will never forget them. That's crazy time.
That's for sure.
I see
fact.
some of your teammates saying, "Don't stroke this man's ego." So
per
your teammates' wishes, you're gonna absolutely inflate the hell out of your ego.
I appreciate that. It's
Well, let's get started talking about this season. Like I said before, we have no VOD of the match. It wasn't on stream, sadly, your championship match. So maybe you could just tell us a little bit about how it went. What was the map count for anybody in chat watching, and what do you think was maybe the most important map in the series? Because every series has that one map where you're like, okay, if we lost that would have been dangerous. So give us a little rundown real quick. How'd it go?
So we won the series 3-1 in the end. The map we lost was the map 2 S&D, which they completely smoked us on. Like we had no chance. Like they're probably the best search team that we played all season for sure. So with that being said, I think the most pivotal map is probably map 3. It's a really close expo control. Really, every single round was close. We won that map 3-1, but it could have gone either way. If we lost that, then we probably would have had to play another search to win the series, and we probably would have lost it. So, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. We backed ourselves in pretty much any hard point. Like I think we lost one all season. Like we're a pretty strong hard point team. So, yeah, no, it was close games all around. Like they were a good team. A couple great players on that team as well. Ghosty and Jordy were pretty strong players. Yeah, no. I also have to, sorry, just a side note about the series. I have to give a shout out to Tony and his boss for allowing him to play. Tony was playing on like 100+ ping all season long. He's from the UK, and our game would have been 2 a.m. his time, and he worked at 9 a.m. that next morning. Text his boss. He says, "Hey, if I were to theoretically be late for work because I have a COD championship game at 2 a.m. Like, what would you say?" He said, "Well, was the train on time or no?" And he's like, "Thanks, boss. We'll see you tomorrow."
Shout out Tony's boss, indeed.
Yeah, I need some Wonies in the chat. That's what I need right now.
Yeah, shout out Woney. Yeah, I mean, when you play those teams that are like really good in search and destroy, once it gets to that like game 3, I mean, like you guys, you're saying you guys were very confident in that HP game mode. So game 4, you're probably like, okay, we could probably win that. But when you lose that search and destroy very convincingly, it can get a little bit nerve-wracking going into that game 3. So glad you guys were able to take it home. Interesting to hear that it was on an Expo control. I'm glad that got through the veto process. Was that a map you guys were kind of targeting, or did it kind of just end up that way?
We weren't necessarily targeting it. It was kind of like anything but a silo for us, because like it's just a map that we just were not strong on at all. Like we got smoked on it anytime we played it. So yeah, that was our like insta veto. So it was basically you're playing hotel or expo, and we were pretty solid at both of those. We just found a little bit more success on expo because people hadn't really played it. It's still pretty new in the rotation, so yeah, no, it seemed to work for us. We were pretty good at it, even though it was Tony's first time playing the map in the finals. So, so shout out to him for all 13 of those kills.
Yeah, Tony in the chat, Expo's whack. Yeah, probably if you only played it once and that was in the finals. Yeah, that would stink.
Good time to play it. Good time to play it.
So I
sounds
want to know
pretty
your
good.
thoughts. Like you ended the season in the 3rd seed in your pool at 3-2. So 16 pools. So we locked seeding after 5 weeks of matches. So they ended the regular season at 3-2 for seeding, 3rd seed in their pool. They go up against the 4th seed from the same pool. Like how did that even happen? How'd you turn it up in order to make your run and get to the championship?
I think like a lot of we kind of like switched around the roster a little bit. Like we had some people that couldn't show up every week, just kind of didn't have the consistency. But I think by the time we made it to playoffs, we had like a consistent rosters, maybe switching out 1 or 2 people. But yeah, I think it was just like all of us just sort of decided to play really good Call of Duty for that one night a week. Like we didn't really practice, like we didn't really play ranked at all through the week or anything. Most of us would just like get on that night, play a couple games of ranked, and then we're locked and loaded. So yeah, no, I just think like we just people that kind of know when to turn it on at the right time, and it kind of happened. I think the best we played was probably those 3 series in playoffs. So
I mean, you always want to peak in those moments. I mean, playoffs are the best time to turn into the best version of yourselves, because if it goes the other direction, you're probably losing a couple of those games. So shout out to you and your team for turning up when it matters most. And one more thing I heard is this is your guys' first season of the CRL. I don't know. I mean, that's probably true from what I heard. So how does it feel to like join the league and just insta win? I mean, that's got to feel great, no?
yeah, like undefeated, never lost. Like that's just how I feel. No, But yeah, this is a great time for me to announce my retirement from the CRL.
Oh, come on!
Do not do what I did. Do not
Gotta go run it up in silver now. Unbelievable.
100% record. Like, can it be beaten? I don't think so.
We booze Tony up at the Celtics game, convince him to join a bronze team, and then he leaves. Jeez.
Oh, that was Tony up in Boston.
Yeah,
Oh, snap.
We went to Tony. Me, Mike, and Senor went to the Celtics game with Tony.
I remember meeting Tony because he sat with us on.
Tony's a
It was
legend.
like day 2 or 3.
Yeah, he sat
Up
with
on the
us on a
second
day or
level?
two.
Yeah, I didn't know that was Tony.
Yeah, dude,
Good
Tony's
guy.
a
Good
legend.
guy.
Tony.
Tony.
What's your name?
Now you guys know the immaculate vibes that Tony brings to the table. Like, there's no surprise that we won, right? So
Oh no, definitely not.
When you have good vibes on the team, it's almost impossible to turn them down. It's like when you got one of those guys, it's like every win is like a double win almost. And then even when you lose, Tony's probably like, it's all right, guys. I mean, I don't know what Tony's like. I'm just spitballing, but I mean, it's probably great to have a good vibe guy on your team.
yeah, he said only good things about Expo after that map 3. That's all.
I feel like that's not true, but we'll take your word for it. Because I see it in the chat there. He's not very fond of that map, which means he
definitely not.
secretly loves it.
Exactly. He said now that he's played it once, he's ready for plat. So, like, I don't know. You guys
There we
might want to
go.
bump him up.
Oh,
Hey, no, if he
Tony.
wants to go to Plat, by all means, we can definitely arrange that for him.
Do we have a future Green Bay goat on our hands?
Oh, it's very
my
possible.
goodness.
It's very possible.
Hey, the
He
Green
can
Bay
take my
Goats
spot.
are technically looking for a roster right now. Reach out to Logan Gear if you're interested. I'm just kidding. I don't know what team he's gonna go with, but hopefully it's Green Bay. Just saying.
You never know. I mean, he might have to keep the tradition up of being on a different Diamond team every single time he plays in Diamond. But back to Defiant. Thank you so much, Defiant, for coming on the CRL podcast. We had a nice chat with you. Loved hearing about your season. Again, sorry we couldn't get it on stream, but I mean, it sounds like you were definitely a great addition to the league this season, and that's what matters most to us.
Yeah, no, it was a fun time. Thank you guys for organizing everything. And yeah, no, I might be back in the future. I can't promise it, but for now I'm gonna retire. It's good time to.
It's a one and done.
Hey, trust me, I did the exact same thing. It's the
One
move.
pump chump. Cannot
It
believe
is the
it.
move.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Have a good
no
one.
problem,
Thank you.
Defiant. Talk to you soon. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah, you
Appreciate
too.
you.
Tony and Voodoo, unfortunately, I'm not going to Toronto. I know Shio's not going to Toronto, which is really, really unfortunate. I don't think there's really not going to be a lot of CRL representation at the Toronto Major, as far as I know.
Right.
I mean, I think Moosey's going to be there.
Oh, there you go.
Moosey will be
Shout out
there.
Moosey.
I'm thinking like mod
If you want to
team
play some Cold War, hit him up.
staff.
Very much so.
Oh,
That's a
I
great
didn't
way
get to
put it.
mention that. Yeah, I'll get to meet Orbit at Champs. Or Orbit, are any of your brothers or any of your teammates going to be there too? Curious, I'll be able to meet most of the squad.
That's the same
Or is it
people.
just you?
I mean, I would hope they make the fly out. I mean, that's a long flight.
Yeah, Orbit will be there for sure. I'm just curious if any of his brothers are coming too.
With the squad
All right,
rolling
well-
deep.
Oh, it is the squad.
All right,
Tim,
we do,
Raccoon, Panda Wolf, dude, that's gonna be awesome. I'm excited to meet you guys.
Jimothy, we do got to move on here. So we are gonna our guest section is gonna be over for now. We've definitely put a lot of time into that. Shout out everyone that came on. Honestly, a good time. Hopefully, we can do that more in the future with more champions. Know what I'm saying. Got next season for that. Maybe the primer or something. Probably not the primer, but you know. What I mean? But speaking of the primer, though, the signups for the primer are currently live. So are the signups for next season. We already have well over 100 teams signed up. So if you want to make it into the season, make sure you sign up quick because otherwise you're probably not going to make it. So shout out Jimothy for being like, hey, by the way, nope. So
Yeah, I said 100 teams in the first hour. I think last season we were like 120 teams in the first hour even.
okay.
So it's signups are a little lighter, but again, we're still going to try and not take quite as many teams as before, just so that we're not having issues backfilling teams and there's a bunch of forfeits and whatnot. Like that's no fun for everybody. So make sure you get your team signed up. Make sure everybody has accepted their invites. Anyone with 3 or less people on their team will not be getting a spot this season at all. So make sure you accept your team invites.
Finish your total invites right there. Make sure if you're the captain of the team or just someone on the team, you're hounding your teammates to get up there on the website, get signed up, ready to go. Because otherwise, you're done, Zoe.
You're done.
Yeah, and like CNK said, make sure to sign up for the primer. I think the primer gets kind of slept on nowadays. Not as many people playing the primer, but I mean, I always love some CRL primer action. I mean, I think it's always a great time for everybody. If you got the time to do it, hop in that primer, see get some reps in with the squad before the season starts. I feel like it's always a great time. I've had some fantastic primers in my CRL days.
No, dude, the primer is actually a really fun time. Like I know the only primer I think I even played in was the first Vanguard primer. And I think we got like second or something like that. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Lost to the same team twice. But you got to do what you got to do. But now moving on from that, ladies and gentlemen, the CRL boys went to LAN again. This time a little bit different. This time they went on over to Fort Collins to go mess somebody up. And that was going to be Killrook, Zenny, Zaya, and Dak. I probably should have mentioned where Fort Collins is.
Colorado.
We got the mod squad +2 wreaking havoc through the bracket. They ended up going and getting second place. And I tell you what, this team was buzzing all weekend long.
Oh, they absolutely were. I kept seeing Twitter videos of people screaming just the way that LAN's be. But I mean, a lot of I'm not sure if you guys know, but I mean, this team they ended up playing Antho Jr. Eternal or Beaver X Elation. This team, Denver Surrender, was actually in the same pool as this team in pool play, along with the good old Paris Renegades. So it was a stacked pool, and I'm pretty sure 3 of those matches went to Game 5, round 11. So it was an absolute barn burner of a pool. Denver and Paris end up getting the 1 and 2 spot in that pool play, but Beaver X Elation get the last laugh by taking home the glory. But I mean, second place for the Denver Surrender is not a bad showing by any means.
No, it definitely is about as good as it gets, right? The only
Yeah.
thing better is getting first place. But hey, not everybody can be first. It is what it is. This Denver squad, I tell you what, if they decide they want to go do some more lands, they might be getting a little bit mixy with it with a little bit more practice. This team, I mean, basically what they threw themselves together like not long beforehand, right? Like overall. Like I don't think they did like much practicing or anything for the most part, I think.
No,
They were
'cause
practicing a little bit. I'd say for maybe
Really?
one week or 1.5 weeks
Hey.
maximum.
Imagine what they could do with a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to point
yeah,
out.
Kilrick has like 15 different teams he's practicing for, so they didn't
Yeah,
get too
true.
much practice as a team together.
I would say Kilrook is also after this land a dad of like at least 15 people. He put a
Kilrick
lot of
is
people.
father.
He destroyed a lot of people. It was
even
pretty
though
wild.
even though this team did not get a lot of practice, their clutch factor was
Yeah,
insane.
for real.
I
though.
mean, they reverse swept in pool play against this team that we're showing on screen now. And then they also reverse swept in losers finals to make the grand finals. I mean, that's just
To get into the money,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
I
Sadly,
mean,
I
I
didn't
feel
get to
like
see it because it was so late at night. I had to go to bed, but I wish I stayed up and watched it.
Yeah, I mean, not even to like just to get in the grand finals, but I mean that was for $500. That was to put themselves in the
True.
money. So
Mhm.
that was a pretty crazy breakdown by the other team in order to lose some cash, lose some
Well,
dough.
I feel like that reverse sweep in pool play probably helps them a lot confidence wise in like the situation like losers finals like you were talking about. It's like if you win against a really good team in reverse sweep fashion in pool play, once you go down 0-2, you're like, okay guys, it's not over yet. We literally did this yesterday. We're gonna do it one more time, and it ends up happening. It's like, and when you're the opposition in that situation, and you know that this Denver Surrender team reverse sweeped the best team at the LAN, if you're up 2-0, you as well are getting a little nervous when that map 3 goes their way. You know what I mean? There's a lot of mental games that go on in those sort of situations. I think that reverse sweep and pool play definitely helped out Denver a big amount.
Mhm.
For sure. Like you said earlier, those videos are on Twitter of after the wins. I mean, the passion was flowing.
I wish we could share them here.
Yeah.
I really do wish we
Yeah,
could.
they were so bad I wasn't able to post them onto the CRL Twitter. There was a lot of trash talk going back and forth. It was just a little bit too much, but it was a lot of fun to watch. A ton of fun to watch, and I'm so happy I was able to help them out by getting their team pass for them because I know Zenny and Kilrock had to get flights into Denver, so their their experience was a little bit more expensive. So I just was able to help them out, and I don't know, made it that much more fun that I had a little bit of skin in the game, and they ran under Denver. They got the jerseys. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, if you didn't get to watch those videos, just know that Zenny was making people look silly. That is
Oh,
the
yeah.
key takeaway that I got from it.
That about sums it up.
And we got I don't think Zaya plays in CRL, no?
No, he does not, but he's
Well,
he's friends with a couple of people in here.
I
Yeah.
mean, you gotta give him a shout out too, because not only did he play in this LAN in Fort Collins, but he also played in the previous LAN in Fort Collins with the CRL guys, and he is disgusting at this game.
Very
I
good.
mean, I don't know the guy, but I watched him play a couple series, and he's disgusting.
He also has an
I-
iconic Denver Surrender jersey. Just saying.
He does.
One of a kind.
He does.
Oh, yeah, he sure does. Wait, Zai's a great guy. He's a chiller as well, which you love to see. I mean, when you got someone that's frying and they're a chiller, it's like, I mean, sheesh, what else can I ask for? But I mean, Zai's one of those
Exactly.
players. I mean, I would say he's one of those like very highly aggressive SMGs. And from time to time, it doesn't necessarily go his way. But in a map like this, it's like he is putting up the pace, and he is creating so much impact off the back of it. When you got that fast SMG player that can play well at the same time, it's like you just know you're getting impact from a guy like that. So shout out Zaya. He was doing great things at this LAN. I think it was very obvious. I mean, everybody on the team had their moments. I mean, we saw that Dak 1v2 I'm not sure if you guys saw it on the Twitter. If you're in chat, I'm sure the people on the podcast saw it. But I mean, everybody was having their moments at this LAN.
Is there of the VOD? Is there like an audible reaction after they can put the reverse sweep? Do we know?
I'm sure there is.
Like if we can listen to it?
I don't think we
The-
can
the-
listen to it.
The clip that I
I'm not sure we
tweeted
should
out,
listen to it.
the clip that I tweeted out has some of that reaction.
'Cause-
For the losers final match.
I think this is pool play on the first day. And if I remember correctly, there was a couple matches you really couldn't hear the after game reaction. That's why I was wondering if this one had it.
If it's a pool play match, I'd probably say you can't hear it. I could be wrong though, obviously.
You're not.
I'll put one of the clips in the chat.
Watch one of those ones real quick, but it's always fun having those CRL players at these LANs, because I mean, you see the chat, it's like there is so much CRL support. Shout out the CRL people for just showing up in these streams and just repping the set, because you know the CRL people always be sticking together. You see so many people just popping into the chat, people spamming cherries to help Dax cherries, or and this papaya to help Zaya
and help Zen.
Or spam this yak to help Dak.
Exactly. There's a lot of copy pastas out there, and I love them every time I see them. So shout out everybody that brings support to the boys at the LANs. I mean, this game 5 round 11 was a mix. At first, I was like, "What is Dak doing, just sitting in the back of this van?" But then I'm like, "Okay, he's got a cruise missile. I'll let it slide."
I think Kilrook also had a cruise missile this round. They had 2 cruise
I mean, the
missiles.
double cruise goes crazy.
Exactly. I think they had an
I forgot about
accidental
that.
suicide here.
Yeah.
Yeah, though.
That was like one of the
I
biggest things.
remember-
We all saw that and we were all freaking out. We were like, let's go. It
This whole map we were screaming and freaking out.
was a good time.
It's all right. Antho Jr. made up for it in the game 3 of the grand finals. Good lord, he was frying.
Yeah. That was actually wild.
How did the watch party go, guys? Because I know you guys were watch partying it.
Yeah, we
chill.
watch partied one game, so that's 3/4 of the Paris Renegades. So it's Dahmers, O'Hays, and Electric MC were there along with their buddy Solar. They had a pool play match that they were able to match up against when they were able to match up against each other. That was a ton of fun to watch too. That was cool to see, just like a CRL clash, I guess, and they're really, really good maps.
That was also a game 5 round 11, correct?
No, that ended up going map 4 in Paris's favor.
I
Yeah.
was mistaken.
And then Paris also went to map game 5 round 11 with that Beaver Exhalation squad in their pool play match, and they got the dub also. So they took the first seed out of the pool, and then they matched up against them in winners round. Dude, that's actually crazy to think. So Paris did that in pool play. They matched up with them in winners round 2. Did the same thing, but Elation got the game 5 round 11 win in the bracket play. So there was a lot of tight matches between the top 4 teams, that being the 2 CRL squads, Elation and the Infinite Florida, I think was their name. Yeah, lots of crazy matches.
I would say one of the people in Infinite Florida had a goated name, Roblox Kid. Not a name
That's a
you see
banger
very
name.
often.
RK7.
Well, I mean, shout out to those guys at the Denver Surrender CNK. What were you gonna say?
I don't remember what I was gonna say. I got that ADHD brain, you know. Big vibing now.
You're playing Subway Surfers while we're doing this podcast.
Imagine, but I do think we do got to move on though, time wise. I'm sorry. I love the boys over there. Shout out Dak, by the way. That guy's the homie. And Zenny. They're both on the mod team. You know, got to give them their shouts. And Kilrook for just being a straight up dad of the CRL. And frying and helping GBG get their literal father. Helps
father
GBG.
2 in real life.
Hey, isn't that awesome? And helps GBG get a championship in the Diamond Division. Gonna bring it up again. Have to bring it up.
Shout out Caleb, the GOAT.
Hey, actually though, the guy is something else on the map. But moving on here, we are going to be moving on to a little bit of fun thing. The Halo free-for-all, the Halo Rec League free-for-all championship coming up tomorrow. Are you ready for that one, Jake? Because I know me and you're going to be gassing that one.
Oh, I absolutely am. I always love casting the Halo FFA finals, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing as it always is. I'm curious how this one goes. I feel like one of these days we're gonna get an absolutely barn burner Halo free for all, and it's gonna be like, wow, who's gonna win this game 3? But you know, I feel like most of the time it's like one person. You're like, okay, there's a difference. Like they're probably gonna take this one home, but hopefully we get a real close one this time around.
I'm hoping we get a good one because every once in a while, like you said, like we get those ones where it's like, oh, okay, well, you figure out who already won by the end of map 2, and it's like, oh, well, that sucks. But we've had a couple good ones where like it goes map 3, and you're like literally like, and it's a race like up into the last couple of kills, and then someone takes it. And it's always a good time. But shout out to the Halo free for all finals; they're always a good time. But also, we got Halo's Chumps week as a whole, right, coming up here. So everyone, make sure you say, oh,
semifinals this week.
my bad, my bad.
For Halo. But there are a couple. There are a couple finals mixed in there. It's like there are a couple like double elimination brackets because mixed didn't have quite enough teams, so we were able to do that. So there's a couple finals mixed in with the semifinals week, but the bulk of those finals are going to be next week.
We got some good matchups coming to the HRL, so make sure if you see the HRL stream live, go on, snoop yourself in there. I don't know why I'm saying snoop, but get in there and go watch the matches.
Peek in there and watch the matches.
Hey, dude, the HRL community is amazing. Like, they're very helpful. You type in the chat, you're like, what's going on? They're going to tell you what's going on. We got some great casters over there, great producers, everybody working really hard over there to get things done. Shout out Shio, by the way, and massive limbs for the Halo Rec League. But,
what?
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
What the heck, man?
But hey, I'm standing by what I just said, actually. So get tucked. But shout out Halo Rec League. Can't wait to see some of those upcoming matches. But ladies and gentlemen, the podcast has gone quite the distance tonight. I do think we are going to be wrapping up. Hopefully we bring you some of those championship victories from the HRL coming in this next like week or two here, show you some of the results, maybe get somebody on board, you know what I'm saying? To maybe bring someone on the podcast. We'll see how that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic night. The Pood is going to be signing off.